Hey guys, I'm Nick Staley. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get Keyscape Collection up and running. So Keyscape Collection is a set of 7 patches that I made specifically with the Victory album by Bethel Music in mind. A few of these patches made it onto the album. The rest are patches that I play quite often. I'll play either on Sundays with them or on tours. So they're really great patches. I love using these ones. So I'm excited to show you how these all work. I'm going to be using Ableton Live for this video, but the installation process works the same whether you're using a MainStage or Reason or whatever other DAW you're comfortable with. So I'm going to start by going to Finder, and if you navigate to your Keyscape Collection folder, you'll have your Keyscape patches inside of that folder. We're going to move these over to the actual Keyscape folder. So to do that, I'm going to open up another Finder window. I'm going to go to the Go menu in Finder, and if I hold down Option, the library folder should pop up. And go to Application Support and Spectrasonics, Steam, Keyscape, Settings Library, Patches, and User. So this folder is going to go inside the User folder. So I'm just going to drag that over. Okay, so this is all that's necessary on the Finder side of things. And now I can navigate over to Ableton to finish that. So I'm going to open up my plugins folder and drag in a new instance of Keyscape. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go to my user folder, and this won't open up until I click refresh. So as soon as I've done that, the patches should pop up. Alright, so let's start off with Arcadia Piano. So this is probably my most used piano patch. It's nice and compressed. It's got a bright tone to it, a little bit of a reverb on there. Let me play it real quick. So as you can see, it has that small amount of reverb. If you want to, you can map these. So I can do in Ableton MIDI, CC Learn, or enable host automation, and then MIDI map that. So that's helpful for if you want to change patches on the fly and have a really verbed out patch for a specific song. So all these settings are things that you can change if you need to. In the settings folder, if you're having CPU problems, I would go ahead and turn on thinning. So what thinning does is it'll, I think, load half the amount of samples that it normally does. And it'll stretch the audio in between samples. So it doesn't have as many samples being processed through the CPU. But it'll still sound pretty great. You can also adjust the voices if you need to save on CPU. And then in Tweak, I already have this turned off, but the Sustain Realism, that loads 2 different layers of samples. It'll load audio samples with sustain on and audio samples with sustain off. So having it off cuts a significant amount of CPU usage out. So these are settings that you'll potentially need to adjust, especially if you have more than one Keyscape patch loaded up. Okay, so let's see. I'll go to the next patch, Atmos CP80. All right, same thing. You can turn on thinning if you need to, or adjust the amount of voices if that ends up using a lot of CPU on your system. So this is a really cool patch. Works great for doing lead lines, or if you want to double it with another piano, to just give a more unique sound to your piano. Okay, so crunchy piano. All right, so this one is definitely very compressed sounding, and I pulled a good amount of the low end out of it to just give it a kind of squashed sound. So this is great also for lead lines or for just really big octaves, just to have a more unique sound than the typical regular compressed piano. Okay, moving on, icy piano. This one is really, really dynamic. It's hard to get it really bright sounding, but it sounds great for really soft, intimate piano moments. So, and this one also has some really nice pedal noise, release noise. So it's just these extra elements that add to the sound and just give it a really beautiful quality. Okay, Limo Celeste. This one has a kind of bellish bell tone to it. And you can layer this with a piano or just play it by itself. Same thing, it'll have the option to do thinning if you need to. All right, modern piano. This one lends itself more to the pop genre, any kind of more modern music. I don't use this patch a whole ton, but for that kind of style, I feel like this works well. I've heard this patch a lot in a lot of newer music that's coming out, so that one's kind of fun. And then upright piano. This one was probably used the most on the Victory album. So it's got kind of an older sound to it. I'll show you how it sounds. So a lot of pedal noise in that one, a lot of clicky keys sounds. So this one's really cool, and really, really expressionate. So those are the patches available in Keyscape. Um, Again, don't be afraid to adjust those settings if you need to, with thinning and voices. And not all of the patches will have the option for the sustained realism. I think that's potentially just on this Arcadia piano. But yeah, that's how that all works. Hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching.